Hey everybody. When somebody ignores you, what what can you do? What do you do? Man, as somebody on the spectrum, I figured the absolute answer to that. I know exactly what it's like to be ignored. I've been ignored for years. And I mean in spite of all the stunts I do, all the attention getters I would try. Man, I went to college, right? I was in this room with three other roommates in one room. All of them were friends. I'd try to fit my way into the group, and they just ignored me. And that's because I didn't know this mystical, magical secret that literally is the spiritual answer to that. It's what monks know, and holy men, and people that sit up on tops of mountains and meditate. You are going to like this, and it is going to be an actual practical way. So here's how you start. First, you need to realize that from the world headquarters of Preston Flat, I welcome you to today's video. So what happens, man, you want to feel balanced and all together, right? There are all kinds of, there are psychologists, psychiatrists, and all kinds of people like that will try to tell you how to figure things out. So if you just figure it out a certain way, then you can be in the right place at the right time, and either you won't get ignored, or if people ignore you, it won't bother you. So I'm not offering this as any kind of health advice or professional advice of any kind, but simply because of my vast experience in world mystic traditions and something that I've found that works. So as you sit there listening to this, just try this, if you will. You're sitting there on the chair, right? And can you feel the sitting bones, the place where you sit on that chair? There's one on the right and one on the left, right? Now, just feel them evenly. You might choose to sit a little straighter or something, but feel them evenly. You'll realize, even if you're trying to feel them evenly, that you'll feel one more than the other, right? So if you do, it's no big deal. You just correct your posture in such a way as to feel them both evenly. And so in real time, you are literally surfing the place between opposites, just trying to feel them evenly. You are literally surfing the place between opposites. And now here is how this relates to people ignoring you, okay? As you do this technique, which I'm describing, called how to mystically surf or skateboard without a board, what's going to happen is the world around you continually presents itself to you in ever new ways which have never, ever presented this way ever from the beginning of time. I mean, life is ever new. Just think of it. You have different food in you than the same time yesterday. When you breathe in, you're breathing in different air particles. Your hair is a different length. Everything is always changing. But the thing is, man, because it's changing, it gives you this mystical sport of being able to set up what I was just describing to you, which is like a mystical scale, and to surf just like a surfer or a skateboarder would, to surf the place between opposites. And this absolutely relates to when people ignore you. What do you do? So, to begin with, we just practice surfing this place. And the thing is, the world around you is going to continue to roll up and parade up before you in all these ever new ways. And that includes when you are presented before someone that in your mind they're higher than you, Because what you're doing is when you try to get liked or try to get not ignored, you're basically delivering yourself over to them in front of them for their mercy. It's like, I'm going to just deliver myself in front of you, and now I am just in your power to either accept me or not, to either ignore me or not, right? So basically, you've just gone from a place of balance to a place of just delivering yourself up and laying belly up in front of them in weakness and in lack of balance. It's almost like if someone's laying on the floor like a dog, like if you have a dog laying on the floor with its belly up, right? And just in play, someone comes up and puts their foot on its belly and just rubs it around, and the dog's going, the dog really is at that person's mercy. And that's what you did when you try not to be ignored or try to get accepted. So, man, you made a mistake earlier. If that's the situation you find yourself in, what you did is you started out from a place of balance. And then from that place of balance, you launched forward and lost your balance and ended up essentially belly up in front of them at their mercy. They can either make fun of you, they can laugh at you, they can ignore you, they can point at you, they can do anything they want. Because you had lost your balance and you'd given them essentially power to decide over you. All right? And then, depending on what they do at that point, whether they ignore you or not, that's going to determine how you feel. That's going to determine yourself, the way you view yourself and everything, your self-image. You see, so before you do that, before you deliver yourself like a dog, belly up in front of these people, there's a place before that when you are simply balanced and all together, feeling good, all contented. And what I'm saying to you is, if you can learn to do this mystically surfing without a surfboard, you can at first establish this way of being balanced, surf the place between left and right, and the world will continue to present itself before you. What does that mean? That would mean, as you're practicing in this way, the person that you'd normally be all concerned about whether they're going to ignore you or not, they will appear on the scene. They might come up to you. They might be in the environment. And when they appear, you will find that you'll probably want to lean. See, there's this thing in mystical practice that you tend to lean away from things you don't like or lean toward things you do like. Even if you don't want to lean, man, as the world presents itself to you in all these ever new ways, accumulatively, in total, even if you don't know why you're leaning, usually you will tend to lean. And commonly people won't realize that they're leaning. They won't know why, and they just get bounced out. They lose balance and they end up belly up like a dog laying there at the mercy of somebody else that they should never have, perhaps never have delivered their power over to. So the mystical solution is, first you learn how to set up this equivalent of a mystical scale, in which you select a point on one side, a point on the other, and you literally use the frame of the human body as a tool to set up this state of balance. And then as the world around you changes, in real time, you will feel the very instant that you start to depart from balance. And literally as a sport, even as like sporting, like surfing and skateboarding without a board, The very instant that you start to lean, you just bring it back. And literally, you don't even care about the outer environment. All you do is simply enjoy this sport of abiding as balanced without leaning in all kinds of circumstances and settings. And I'd say don't do this on your own unless you've been trained, and of course, you don't want to. Yeah, if you visit my website, prestonflat.com, it'll give you more information. But basically, you want to have some kind of training before you do this, and always do it in a safe way and in a safe place. So what happens is, when this person arrives on the scene that you're so invested in, it's so important to you if they're going to ignore you or not. What you do is you don't just launch out in front of them belly up. Now that could look like you doing some kind of attention getter, and in mysticism they call that standing on tiptoe. That means before you were balanced and level and everything, but then you launched yourself up and you stood on tiptoe, and then you cannot be steady in that situation. So instead, what you do is you start off as balanced, and you practice this kind of balance always and everywhere. So that person will arrive on the scene, and you're not needy because you are balanced and all together. It's not something that you figured out, because you're simply using the frame of the human body as a tool, and you're relaxing comfortably, surfing the place between opposites, the place between left and right, or the other opposites, anyway. So they arrive on the scene. At first they might be really small. Just imagine like a little dot on the horizon. You're sitting here all balanced. And even as I tell you this, you can actually, if you want to, you could practice just feeling both sitting bones evenly, even while I give you this description, and just see how easy it is to hold to this. So maybe just like a little dot on the horizon, and they come closer and closer, and the dot gets bigger and bigger, but through it all, you just surf balance. They come up bigger and bigger. Pretty soon they're standing right in front of you or next to you, and through their entire arrival, you've surfed this place of balance and steadiness and peace. So what does that mean? It means you are all together in body, in mind, and in spirit. And then the person might decide to say something, So if they're going to say something, they're going to open their mouth, right? So what you do is before they open their mouth, you practice balance. You practice balance through as they open their mouth, still balanced. As they speak and as the words arrive, still balanced. And then when they finish their words, you're still balanced. So what have you just done? You have just practiced remaining as balanced in the middle of life's changing circumstances. And being balanced, you are all together. That means you have not launched yourself belly up in front of them like a little wimp. No, man, you are all together. And what I want to say is balance is freedom, because from this balance point, from this place of balance, you are free to move to the front, the back, the left, the right, any direction. You're free to move because you're all together, all in one piece, and all integrated. And so you're literally at the choice point for your life, and you're surfing this place. So in other words, if you practice in this way, you are always spot on. And of course, people practice it to greater or lesser degrees of success, but it really is a way in which, like in this world, if you've ever wondered, well, how should I be in this circumstance? How should I be in that circumstance? What if somebody's going to ignore me? What if they're not going to ignore me? Man, it's just too many things to figure out. You're really supposed to figure all that out and then just do some external cosmetic remedy that might work for one thing, but that because it worked for that, it set you up to not work in a different situation, you know? No, man, if you stay balanced, you stay surfing and abiding at the balance point, at the choice point, and from there you are all together. So you don't launch out in inappropriate ways even. Man, I'm telling you, I'm Asperger's on the spectrum, and it took me years to learn this. But it really is an actual technique that has helped me a lot. And so, when someone ignores you, what do? You don't even worry about it, man. If you just practice in this way, then you are always good to go. They'll arrive on the scene. If anything, they're going to be more impressed with you because they're going to see somebody that's sitting there all together, that keeps their power, that keeps their... Yeah, they don't roll belly up in front of them. They keep their power. And see, that's going to make you... you'll appear better before them. So in other words, they'd be less likely to ignore someone that's practicing in that kind of a way. So this technique, it's pretty fun, man. You can learn more about it. I actually did a video on it too on this channel. It's called How to Mystically Surf or Skateboard Without a Board. And I developed it and practiced this. And what it does is it draws together all that the mystic traditions have, the Taoists, the Buddhists, the Hindus, you know, all the mystical Christianity, all of it. So that's what you do. What do you do when someone's going to ignore you? You just practice this before they show up. Practice this while they arrive on the scene. Practice this while they do what they do. And because you're practicing this, you're always good to go. And then when you get used to practicing this, you can also interact with them in a way that's balanced and steady, and it doesn't mismatch the environment either. So hope that helps you. I think you, man, I don't know. I don't know you, so I don't know if it's advisable for you, but I can just tell you that it's really helped me a lot. And it's not just figuring stuff out, man. You don't have to figure anything out. Just set up the mystic scale and surf it. And so as we finish this video today, I want you to just practice this with me, okay? So you're sitting there, you feel both sitting bones evenly, right? I want you to try this. If you lean to the left, do you feel how you feel that one more than the right? And then what if you lean to the right? See how you can feel the one on the right more? There's a place between the two that you can literally treat this as a sport, no matter how the world presents itself to you. And then the other way to practice is start out feeling it evenly. You can either lean to accomplish evenness and surf this place between opposites, or you can simply move your mind. For example, from here, just put your mind on the left sitting bone. You notice how you feel that one more than the right one? And that's without leaning, just moving your mind, you feel that. Then put your mind on the right sitting bone. Notice how you feel the right one more than the left. So man, this is the union of body, mind, and spirit. And you establish it all in balance. And being balanced, you're always good to go. So I hope you like that. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.